Well, we had a busy week this week. And just yesterday, well, should I say Friday, the 6th of December, the Tooting Four appeared at the Magistrates Court, there, Westminster Magistrates Court, and here's what happened.
Has seen a travesty of justice. Nicholas Arlott, Lloyd Dunsford, Martin Whitehead and Alison Young, known as the Tooting Four, maintain their innocence. Today's judgment is another body blow for free speech and for peaceful protest in this country. In this case, you have four innocent people peacefully protesting against the ULEZ expansion and campaigning to change the decision by Sadiq Khan, not by disruption, not by violence, not by threats, intimidation or harassment, but by genuine democratic means, asking residents in Greater London to vote for Susan Hall to stop the ULEZ expansion. During the course of this trial, the CPS and police told us there was absolutely no problem with all the protesters moving to City Hall, where incidentally there was no members of the public for them to demonstrate to carry out their protest. Apparently, all their banners, placards, posters, slogans were perfectly legitimate if they went to City Hall. But for some reason, those banners, placards, posters and slogans were not allowed in Tooting. The CPS also argued that Mr Khan would be harassed, alarmed or distressed, that people might object to his policies in Tooting, but not at City Hall. All this, despite there being no evidence from Sadiq Khan and him being at that time on the stage at Trafalgar Square at the time of that demonstration. The judge at the outset declared an interest in having attended an event with Sadiq Khan, and despite protests from the accused, didn't recluse himself from the proceedings. There was a concern from the Tooting Four that he may have an unconscious bias against them, that justice could not be seen to be done and a fair trial was in jeopardy. In addition, the Tooting Four did not feel that enough time was given to their case, and all the evidence did not come out. Despite this, there is a very real chance that the judge misdirected himself and didn't take into account the impact this decision would have on free speech and how his decision could bring the judiciary into disrepute. Only on the 5th of November, protesters from Just Stop Oil were acquitted at Stratford Magistrates Court, having been accused of demonstrating outside Rishi Sunak's house in London. And when comparing the two decisions, it gives the public an impression of a two-tier justice system, as the two results are completely inconsistent. Bearing in mind that there have been at least 70 of these pop-up demonstrations and protests across Greater London in the 18 months leading up to the ULEZ expansion and the election, all without incident and all without any confrontations or run-ins with the police, the decision made today seems perverse to the four accused. Therefore, the Tooting Four will be discussing this with their lawyers and appealing this conviction and sentence at the earliest opportunity. Howard, I don't know if you want to say anything on top of what I've said, because Howard, again, has been supportive of these guys throughout the time. You know, as I said, every single occasion, on all the previous demonstrations, there's been actually lots of conversations with the police. They've turned up to see what's going on, and these guys have had engaged and talked to them, they've worked with them, and that is exactly what was happening here on the 6th of April.
I've been to 25 of these protests. I think you said 60 or 70 or 80.
Yeah.
And they've always been peaceful, good-natured and fun. The family environment, the carnival environment, with the fire brigade engines running around it and buses. No problem at all, not obstructing the public whatsoever. I would have been at this protest, I could have been in the dock with these guys. These people are totally and utterly innocent. All they're doing is standing by hard-pressed drivers and Londoners. I've said many times this is a regressive tax hitting small businesses and people who can't afford to drive but need their vehicles. And unfortunately, what we're seeing here, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep repeating this until I'm blue in the face, this is a political decision. This is nothing to do whatsoever with anything to do these people have done. They've not hurt anyone. Nick here, who was called over by the police quite peacefully, he willingly walked across the policeman. The next minute, he's in handcuffs. Why? And this has got to stop, this sort of thing. And I would recommend they appeal, but it's their decision to do that.
Yesterday, the 6th of December, was the court case for the Tooting Four, and the verdict has come through from the Magistrates Court there, and it wasn't good. In fact, it's been described as a travesty of justice. I'm now with one of the Tooting Four, who unfortunately today was found guilty. But please, Martin, tell us exactly what you're going through your mind now and what's going to happen next.
No, I'm numb, to be honest. Numb, feeling of helplessness, that I've been charged and found guilty of something that I don't think was an offence. I don't think protesting about something you don't agree with, especially when it's affected somebody the way it's affected me, I don't think that should be against the law. And today I've finished up. Now I've got a criminal record and £1,000 to find.
And up till today, had you ever been in trouble with the judiciary? Have you had a...
Never been in trouble before in my life. Straight as a die, always,
yes,
on the right side of the law. And this is, I think you're right with the wording, travesty of justice.
Yes, I mean, it's certainly, they've criminalised an innocent person here. And there are some repercussions with that, but are you going to appeal?
Most definitely.
Good.
Most definitely.
And in the trial itself, in the Magistrates Court there at Westminster, were the cases all heard separately, or was you heard as a collective?
We were all heard as a collective.
So 4 of you was in the dock?
Yes. 3 of us got... I think we classed it as a medium offence, and 1 of us got more serious. So I think 3 of us finished up with, I think it's about £980 fine altogether with the costs.
Yes.
And 1 person, Nick, his was slightly more because he said that he instigated it more. He was more involved because he organised it.
Yes, so. And we know there are several irregularities with the case that the police had brought against you.
Yes.
With terms of their statements and what actually happened and what they said.
Yeah.
Conflicting evidence, shall we say.
Well, I think possibly 3 of the officers said we were blocking the road, and then 2 of them said we weren't. And if you look at any video evidence, whether we've taken it or whether the police have taken that evidence or that video, the road was never blocked at any point by any protesters. The only people that blocked the road were the police.
Correct.
We were having a good time. It was a party atmosphere. It always is at our demos.
That's right. And I've been at several of them, especially of those in the Bromley area.
Yeah.
But you were sort of, they're in the Tooting area. And you're quite at liberty to demonstrate. By the way, before you just pitched up there in Tooting, I presume you okayed it with the police first.
Well, the police were there when I was quite late getting to the demo, to be honest. But apparently the police were there when they arrived in the first place. And they assisted in setting up with the gazebo and stuff. So it was only later on when the so-called riot police turned up.
Yes.
Who outnumbered us at least 2 to 1, if not more. And they seemed hell-bent on causing trouble. They were the troublemakers, not the demonstrators.
Initially, how did they identify you, the police, to say, right, you are under arrest?
I was trying to walk away to my car.
This is at the end of the demonstration?
Yeah, this is at the end of the demo. We cleared everything up. There's video evidence of me clearing up. And by the way, the local police were helping us clear up. They were lending us scissors to cut zip ties and stuff where the banners and that were held onto railings and the gazebo. So they were helping us pack up. Then I was walking down the road towards my car, which was behind the police line. So I was a bit at a loss as to where to go. And then the police said, if you don't move away, you will be arrested. Anybody that's caught loitering will be arrested. But they told me to go to the end of the road and wait there. Now, surely that's loitering as well.
Yeah, indeed.
So, yeah, we was at a loss, and all of a sudden, one police officer took it on himself to start pointing out people to arrest, and that's what he did. In quite a nasty way as well.
Yes. Martin, thanks ever so much. I know, and hopefully things are getting to perspective now for you, so you're all right.
Yeah, I'm, you know, bearing up.
Well, Bromley Radio will certainly be right behind you.
Lovely.
And we need to get this out far and wide.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, all the best, Martin.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. I'm now with one of the other Tooting Four, and this is Lloyd. Lloyd, please tell us about yourself and what happened today, because you got accused and you got found guilty today. However, I understand there's going to be an appeal, so please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm one of the Tooting Four. I got found guilty today. I think it's a complete misjustice. The judge had plenty of time to sum up what he was going to say, and a lot of the wording was completely wrong. I feel that we've been stitched up on this completely. The police were known to have lied. We watched their own body cameras, and they said that we were blocking the road, causing distress. We weren't. It was a peaceful protest. It's what we've always done. I've attended over 70 protests. I've arranged protests myself. Nothing we done was going to aggravate or cause distress to anybody, especially Sadiq Khan. But the powers that be...
Sorry to interrupt, Lloyd, but he wasn't there, was he, at the time?
We showed the judge photographs of Sadiq Khan at an Indian festival in Trafalgar Square, and when the police were asked about his family being at home, the police didn't know where he lived. None of them had knocked on his door to see if his family were there. It was a complete farce. The whole case was against us from the word go. This should never, ever have gone to court. We were arrested and taken to Westminster Magistrates Court. The case was held in Westminster Magistrate, and it was all done because the powers that be could control the outcome of this case. It's totally unfair. I'm not happy with the outcome. I will be appealing, and hopefully justice will be done.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Bromley Radio.
And in a follow-up to that, we have an exclusive interview with Councillor Simon Fawthrop, a quite in-depth interview regarding the proceedings of what went on there at Westminster Magistrates Court on December the 6th.